Hello and welcome, everybody. Not that anybody's here yet, so I'll just keep talking until people are able to arrive. So, hello once again, and welcome to the first virtual studio party of 2021. Awesome.
Woohoo!
Woo! Jazz hands. Maybe I should have done that for my thumbnail. Anyway, it's great to be back. It's a gorgeous sunny day out. And so I know some of you will be dying to get out for a walk before the sun goes down.
Valerie's already here.
Oh, hi, Val.
Hey, Val. Welcome aboard.
So glad you could make it. I know one friend who comes pretty regularly can't make it because of work today, which is sad. So she'll catch the replay. And anyway, just in case, remember there are replays. And I'm just going to keep talking until more people have shown up, just so that I don't have to say things multiple times or people miss important things. I'm going to be working on an artist book that I had to sort of put down a few months ago before I finished. And in order to work on that, I'm going to be working with gel plates. So I'm looking forward to that. It was funny, hunting down. Oh, I cut myself trying to get my materials because a palette knife was sticking up in my tool holder, and I reached down to get something, and my thumb.
Do you need a Band-Aid?
Yeah, could you get me a Band-Aid, dear?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it goes with my outfit, the red blood, but it's probably not ideal. Hi, Annie. Nice to see you. So, yeah. And it's on my good hand, too, so that's annoying. Anyway, par for the course, right? So I don't know that there's anyone here who doesn't know what virtual studio party is, but just in case, every time I should say, this is Cal and I invite you into my studio this time, same place, but now it's my studio today. And you're welcome to join in with any projects you're working on, or just play with some materials, or just chill out and hang out. And I will talk a little bit about what I'm doing, and you'll see what I'm doing, but I won't be giving a lesson per se. So it's just an opportunity to hang together in creative community. So.
All right.
Always here come the Band-Aids.
Do you want the kind that goes over the top of the finger? It's close to the top. So
yeah, that might be a good idea.
I'll get it out.
Just give it a squirt with some alcohol.
Hitting the sauce already.
Virtual studio party first aid. I'll add first aid to the keywords for this one.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I always have some rubbing alcohol handy in my art kit. So I'll just, it's a spray. So I'll just give my thumb a little spray.
And did I hear that Annie is here?
Annie is here. And Marg is here. Hi, Marg. So glad you could make it.
Annie had a quick break for lunch from her morning class with me.
Sorry, I'm just, for anyone who's just joined us, I'm just putting a Band-Aid on my thumb that I cut while gathering materials. Not even while doing this stuff, right? Just gathering the materials. How ridiculous is that?
Hi, Marg. Good to have you along, too. That's great.
It sure is.
Yay.
So where's the book that I'm going to be working on? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Over here,
so I'll show you the book that I'm going to be working on. Trying to make some progress on it finally after putting it down for a few months.
Well, I think actually the beginning of a new year, a lot of people are breaking out old things and thinking about what they could do with them.
Yeah. And I'm going to turn over a new leaf. So So I have to get my revenge on him somehow. Anyone who knows Cal knows that he's the punster.
He's
so
punishing.
Punishing. Exactly. So this is it's an accordion book, as you can see, and it's quite large. So I'll give you an overview.
Immodestly wide.
Yeah, that's
great.
Me.
Yeah. It goes very well with what you're wearing today.
It's very layered. Yeah, it's very simpatico with my look.
Yeah.
Now I have 4 blank panels on each end of this side.
Of the sort of intermezzo of reds and grays.
And so, the 2 sides of this book are related but different. And that's kind of fun. I think that's, some people more naturally make more harmonious things. I think it's safe to say that I'm not generally one of those people. I'm the disruption person. So now I'll show you closer up because it is quite different. So this is, I dyed this paper. This is collaged on this big, bold red paper. And I dyed it. It's a Japanese brush painting paper. It came on a roll. And there's some magazine collage in these pointy lozenge shapes. And something else. That's a gel plate printed area, that shape. And charcoal, or I think it's charcoal line, either that or black pastel. But then when we get to the middle section, you can see it's different. The charcoal is denser, but I've collaged on translucent paper and opaque red painted paper with wet black marks in black ink. There's also this detail, which I did during a virtual studio party, of these little triangles in white paint pen. And they're red paint pen to continue the red shape. And that's the end.
So I have a question for you, Kim. When you are working on a project that you have put aside for a significant amount of time, how do you reconnect to it?
Staring at it. You have to stare at it. You have to flip it over and flip through and sort of notice things about it. So, this side has a few things going on. It starts off with black image transfers. Even though it looks gray, it's with black paint. And then I do a mask or stencil print of red from the plate.
Ah, all right, okay.
And then
the red's on last, yeah.
Yeah, the red's on after the black image transfer. And then I've got black paint strokes, white dots have been developed. This is a collaged on piece of paper. There's some translucent paper collaged on, in this panel here.
Oh, yeah, that sort of scoopy L.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that black thing is. That's just paint, that black thing there. So just so you know what's going on, describing it to you helps me wrap my head around it. So, which is a good thing.
So Annie said earlier of your finger, ouch.
Oh, yeah.
And she says she's working on her homework now.
Well, it's a good opportunity, right?
Exactly.
Excellent.
Rebecca says hi.
Hey, Rebecca.
And hopes you're feeling better.
Thank you so much. Still working on it, but able to get myself up for things like this. So, by the way, I'd like to mention right now, just because I'm forgetful. I am Quest Art, which is a school
Midland.
and gallery in Midland, is offering virtual classes, and I am doing a virtual workshop with them on Zoom in April. I think it's April 7th in the afternoon, 1:30 to 4:30. I think it's a Wednesday, April 7th. And it's going to be on gel plate printing with a focus on creating great textures and shapes. Because, if you can make great textures and shapes in gel plate, and sometimes really focusing on that can be really helpful. That can take you anywhere. Those can be final prints, but they can be fantastic collage materials or the basis for mixed media and so on. So they need quite a few people in order to make it able to break even so that it can run. So please spread the word to any gel plate printing people or people who are curious.
Yeah,
it's suitable for all levels.
Wednesday, April 7th from 1:30 to 4:30 on Zoom, and it's $40 for non-members.
$40 for non-members, so not an outrageous price by any means. And I know many of you already have the equipment.
Gel plates, yeah.
So I'm going to be making a materials video for it. There's a materials list that they should have uploaded on their site already. But yeah, what is it called? Gel plate.
Hang on,
texture.
It's called Gel Plate Monoprints, Creating Textures and Shapes with Kim Lee Co.
There we go.
And I put a link to that page on their website with dots in parentheses so that it'll show up in the chat.
Great. Thank you, Cal. So I hope you'll consider joining me for one afternoon. Should be fun. Certainly be more fun with you there.
And got a few questions on that front. Rebecca asks, is there a link from your site? Do you have that up on your...
I will be putting it there. I wasn't able to earlier, and then, as you know, I wasn't too well. So I will get it up there. I'll get it up there today. Okay? So by this evening, it will be up. I might not have all the bells and whistles associated with it up, but I will definitely, under my usual current and upcoming offerings.
Rebecca says, perfect.
Yeah. Thanks.
Philippa Haidu says, hi, Kim. Welcome back. Hi, Cal.
Hi, Philippa.
I was there last week, too. Great.
Yeah, awesome.
Yes.
I
might have missed a few of you as I was madly juggling all the different things, but great to have you back, Philippa.
It sure is.
And Cherie says, hi, guys. Had my walk and ready to create.
Woohoo. Yeah, that's great. You're all energized and balanced.
Got your vitamin D for the day.
I wish I could say I'd had my walk, because what a lovely day.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out there. And Cherie asks, where can you buy a gel plate?
Oh, any art supply store just about sells gel plates. Craft stores should as well.
Yeah,
I would anticipate Michael's would, for example, not Walmart probably, because they don't have enough crafts to warrant it.
And there are a few different makers, right? There's Jelly Arts and there's
Jelly Arts, Gel Press. So Jelly Arts is spelled GELLIARTS. And they're kind of like the primo brand. They just have the highest profile. And, maybe, I don't know if they were the first to commercialize it or not, but they certainly seem like it. Gel Press is another one, and Speedball also makes it. I think that there are one or two other manufacturers, but those are the three I know about. And I think I may have examples from all three makes, and they're all great. And the thing is, they are essentially permanent plates. So for gel plate newbies, I do love these things. So they are transparent. I'll just peel off this backer here. Mine's a little dirty, but they're transparent and very flexible and squishable.
Yeah, and they're like a quarter-inch. They're a little thicker than a quarter-inch.
So
maybe.
There you can see the thickness, right? So like a really heavy piece of glass. And they are delicious to work with. They're very responsive. It's a very, compared to regular printmaking, it's much more free form. And you don't have to you can, but you don't have, there are benefits to not constantly cleaning your plate and letting some of the residue from previous prints appear in subsequent prints.
Yeah.
And you can end up with I've made some of my favorite ever grounds and textures, visual textures, using the gel plate. And I just love it. So it's one of my go-to it's one of my go-to media when I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I hardly ever use them, but we did a little session a few months ago, and like within 5 minutes, I was like, "Oh, this is the best ever."
Yeah. And when your cousin Mimi was over, did a little bit with her, and it it's hard to describe, but it is so much fun. And for this workshop, you don't have to get a big plate. This is I think a 5x7.
Yeah.
And a 6x6 is this size. This is the package for the Jelly Arts one. Okay. And that's perfectly fine, especially if you're new to it. And it's those are both very useful sizes.
The small sizes are the gateway drugs.
Yeah. But they're also easy to store and and so on.
Donna Nichols says, "Hello, Kim and Cal."
Hey, Donna.
Hey, Donna. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you along. And
I know Donna likes doing jelly printing.
Yeah.
So Donna, I don't know if you missed that, but I was just talking about.
No, she's been here for a while.
Has she? Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah. And Marg says she found that the online jelly plate, the places that retail jelly plates online are often cheaper than local stores. So.
Oh, interesting. Because I know when I was offering it that's great to know, Mark. When I was offering it in the fall, it must have been maybe the mixed media, or actually it might have been the summer, the June one.
It all runs together in COVID, doesn't it?
Honestly, time, right?
Yeah.
So there was someone who was interested in taking it, and she went onto Amazon and found and was shocked and appalled that I was recommending a material that cost $78. And I said, "What?" Like, no way should it be anything like that.
No, but there are people who will.
You got to watch out on Amazon. Yeah, sometimes
it's a great price, and sometimes
they
really
gouge
isn't.
you.
Yeah, it's like,
so compare. That's the key, right?
Yeah.
Compare and then check for availability. So it was way cheaper at Above Ground than it was on Amazon at that time, for example. So, and Above Ground delivers. Even if you're used to Curry's or Dessert, all of them deliver. So,
I mean, Amazon has been a savior for sure for a lot of things, but also our local retailers need the support too. So,
because they employ local people.
Yeah.
So whatever works, whatever means you get it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's important too.
Mira has joined us. She says,
Mira.
"Hello, Kim and Cal. Thanks for coming back to our life."
Thank you for coming back.
I see it's jelly fun today.
It is.
Yep.
It is. I'm just looking for some. I think it must be in this batch here. Some images.
And Sharon Kirsch has joined us. Hello, Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
Lovely
I'm so glad you made it.
Yeah. Yay. And Marg says it's the gel plate page. Maybe the jelly plate. Maybe she's referring to the Jelly Arts website.
Oh, maybe they have it cheaper there.
Yeah.
Well, great. Okay.
Annie says, "I got an inexpensive set with the roller at Dessert a few months ago." So yeah,
that's great, and it's so smart of them to market it with the roller. You need the
roller. Yeah,
you need the brayer, right?
Yeah.
This kind of roller is officially called a brayer, but roller, I knew exactly what you meant. And it's used for all kinds of printmaking, as Marg can attest to, for example. Yeah. So just look at me with my big red mug. By the way, I wore my special occasion red lipstick for you guys because it's the first of the year. Okay, so the first thing is to find a suitable image. There's what what I cut out to transfer onto the book earlier.
Oh yeah, look at that.
So
You have that all queued up and ready to go?
Well, because I can still use it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that might be fun.
That is fun.
Use just looking at this. I'm intentionally holding her upside down because the idea behind these things, although it didn't work out, was to exploit actual photographs from fashion magazines, but to use them
in a way
that's about shape and texture. It's not about
imagery.
The imagery. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's why, I love that shape that I transferred and how it is in relation to the red. Speaking of which, I never found the container of Liquitex Basics.
Okay, I'll go looking. I will just
They must just be over there.
Mira says, "You look great, Kim. Keep that way and enjoy the ride."
Oh, thanks. You're so good for me, Mira. Thank you. You all are. Thank you for being here. And let's see what else I can get here. Something with good shape. That might be too small.
Well, the Art Sherpa job is travel a lot shorter these days.
Yeah. Cal's so used to years of helping me schlep so much stuff to classes in person.
Now
he just walks over
across the room,
a couple of meters, 3 meters.
Yep. Didn't even have to put my snow boots on.
That's nice, eh?
Yep. And I get to work with the best company in the world.
Aw, what a smoothie. How is everybody?
Yeah, how are you doing now that we're
Are you coping with lockdown, getting out for walks? Walks I know are a big coping strategy. Does anyone have any other strategies?
I mean, a lot of us have sort of refined them and honed them these many months, but
mental health is tricky when you've isolated for a long time.
I found that I was doing really pretty well for quite a long time last year with my moments, but that I've been struggling a little bit now, maybe I don't know why, but it comes and goes, right? So
yeah.
Rebecca says this is the strategy, and online classes.
Oh, yes. Awesome.
Yeah. Mira, I think responding to earlier, says shape and texture. Great. Do you mean shapes free of meaning?
Well, trying to sort of divorce them of their meaning, enhance they're just shape qualities. Like there's a great shape, that lapel, right?
Yeah.
And if I cut the head off, suddenly it becomes a shape.
It just becomes a shape.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think I might use that. And even the leg does, especially if I'll turn it upside down now.
Yeah.
And now.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to use that. And then this is, did I show this already?
Yeah, but it has great texture
and pattern in it. So that's really great. And then I found a bit of an image I used already. I still had a piece of it left. So that's from there. I just used parts of it before. I saved the bit that I had. So that might come in handy to bring in, repeating motif. Oh, it's tough. I've got this shape, a bit of shape on this side, but this is where that shape is. And don't you hate it when that happens? You've got good stuff on both sides. Okay.
It's good to know. I haven't checked the numbers recently. Cherie says it's a little discouraging when the numbers go up. We're on the right trajectory now. Well, that's
good.
Yeah. I check the numbers once in a while, but I try not to do it too often.
Yeah, I have to. I treat it like the stock market, check once in a while because I can't change it, so I don't
Yeah.
don't want to
Get too invested.
otherwise
Yeah.
it'll spin around in my head like crazy.
Exactly. Sharon says walking is great.
Yeah.
And Donna responding to the magazines, I think some of those designers often give us real visual treats. It's true.
They do. It's awesome.
Oh, bless you, Sharon. Sharon says, Kim, you look energetic and healthy.
Aw, thank you. So the makeup's working.
What time did you go to bed last night, Kim?
Oh my God. I was working till the wee hours. This is a crazy, crazy week. So I started, I had intentionally lightened my winter teaching load, and in order to make room for new projects. Now I had some ideas in my head of what those might be, but then someone I love and respect, and who I've done some amazing projects with in the past, both in situ festivals, for example. She headed both of those up, and she had another project for me, and it's called The Lost Museum, and it's going to launch as an interactive website at the end of March. So, of course, I'm working on it now, and it's fascinating. It's a fascinating project because I'm doing some things that I don't normally do. So I'm teaching. I'm a visiting artist for a course that the artist Noni Kaur is actually teaching. She's a professor at Humber College, and we're doing an altered books project. So I know some of you were in my altered books course, and so for the college students, and because it's related to this specific project, I'm amping up the content, not hands-on content, but because Professor Kaur can handle that, or Noni can handle that, but the other aspects, art history, and I just put together a history of the book last night.
Like an art history
With
book,
so
or,
well,
no,
a
no, it's sort
timeline,
of a
a
timeline,
timeline of the technologies, and then a slideshow related to it. So just check to see. I guess texture is the next thing I need to do if I keep with this alternation.
So coping strategies from our peeps.
Yeah.
Cherie says I'm on a medium moratorium for most of it, and that's
Right.
very wise.
Yeah.
Peggy says walking. Peggy and Bud. Hello, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
Says walking on the trails, singing, and being here. Zoom art time. And I said that sounds very well balanced, whether it's COVID or not. That's really a good, a nice balance of things.
I'm cutting her head off. She has a lovely head, but I'm cutting it off.
It might come in handy some other time.
Cut that text off. There we go. All right. So.
Hey, Susan Abbott just joined us. She
Hi,
says,
Susan.
Hi there, checking in today. Nice to see everyone. Nice to have you along, Susan.
Yeah, it's great to see you, so to speak. All right. Get out the old plate. They haven't been out for a little while. Still got a little residue from the last time I was working on this book, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, I see that very distinctive shape on it.
See the shape?
Yeah, that's great.
All right. So the first thing I'm going to do, especially because it's been out for a while, and I guess I'll back up my... Actually, can you put that box underneath here, dear?
I can. Just give me a second.
Yep. We'll get the wider angle view going now. I have to see if they can't see most of my head right now. Yeah, good. And so can you tilt that back? Here, I'll hold this down. Yeah, that's sort of Oh, let's put it back a bit more. There. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Good. Now I have a feeling I was trying to answer something that I've now forgotten. Oh, I was going to say that I'm going to need to clean and condition this a little bit because it's been out of use for a while. I even had to re-moisten my baby wipes. That's how long it had been. So
Marg says she's doing her box and bag project and reading a lot more too.
Yeah, you and Mira are both doing bags, I think, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
cards,
Working
maybe.
together. It's great.
So well done, you guys. It's fun. It's fun seeing your posts with your latest creations.
Yeah, I think Valentine's cards are next on the agenda. The
Yeah.
posts are correct, yeah. And Sharon says, "You guys are so punny. I'd love a laugh track. LOL." No, we don't need any encouragement.
Especially him. I'm reading too. Actually, I'm reading more. I usually read a lot, but I usually read a lot in connection with my work. So
you read a lot online
right? And online. Well, I'm still reading on. Well,
yeah.
Anyway, in an effort to balance myself, I'm reading novels and also a book of short stories by Leon Rook. In typical ADD fashion, I always have more than one book on the go at once, but I have been reading. Ooh, see the residue that was left? I'm just using Purell or One Step in this case, to clean the worst of the gunge off. Does a great job, actually. Yeah, and there, even more. So
Susan says, "Hey, you just gave me an idea for Valentine's cards. Thanks."
Excellent. So I got an app for our library, several months ago. And I just finally started using it more in earnest. I had, borrowed 2 or 3 things last year. But I'm on a real Henning Mankell kick. The Kurt Wallander mysteries. Yeah. And I'm intentionally reading them in sequence so that, the developments in his personal life happen at the right times and so on. And it's riveting. Even when I find the occasional typo. Can't help myself. All the years in graphic design, proofreading things at the wazoo. I mean, I don't have the energy for it that I did then, but it's still. I promise I am going to actually print, but it's like that, right? When the setup.
Just getting the engine running again and the shop set up to.
It's a good way to get warmed up mentally and physically. Okay, so now I'll give it a wipe with the baby wipe to sort of get the residue off of the hand sanitizer.
Cherie says, "Santa brought me an iPad.
Oh.
I'm exploring Procreate at the suggestion of my virtual collagist colleagues. Yeah. I'm also creating a submission for Gallery Stratford for their Masks Required exhibit." Oh, well done, Cherie. Yeah.
Good for you. Yeah, Procreate is definitely one of the main go-to apps for artists.
And Rebecca says, "I realized the other day that I've virtually checked out and read about 150 books since March from TPL."
You are impressive.
Wow.
So
it's a wonder your head doesn't explode, Rebecca.
Oh, she's a real reader type.
Yeah.
I am too. Just I don't allow myself enough novels. I read so much of great literature when I was in high school. And I started working long hours early in my 20s. And it seems like, except for periods of being very ill, which were a lot, I haven't stopped since. I don't know, something defective, I guess. So I should get warmed up with some bond paper. Just making, can't even open the paint tube. There we go.
Mira says she's done quite a few Valentine's cards and a bit of bags.
I'm using open paint, acrylic paint.
And she says, plus your classes, plus lots of unfinished projects.
That sounds awesome, actually, Mira.
It's good to have irons in the fire. You don't have to finish everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to finish anything full stop. But
get some of them finished and start some new things and then get some more finished. And, yeah. There we go. Oh, it feels good to be back at it.
I'm with you, Sharon. Sharon says, I love audiobooks. Great while walking or doing chores or not falling asleep at night.
Yeah, that's mostly what I did last year rather than reading books, and I'm still doing it. But our library system, I'm in the Brampton library system, and they don't have as many audio books as I would like. So, the Kurt Wallander mysteries, so far I've noticed one audiobook. Meanwhile, they have, I don't know, a dozen and a half novels. So I'm reading a book. I'm reading all these books on my phone. So there you go. It's a good thing my phone is reasonably large. But I have to admit, an iPad would be better. There. My first print of 2021. Hey, it'll be a good ground for something.
It's actually got some very interesting stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's certainly showing off what I have on my plate here.
It looks like a little star field, too.
It does.
It's great.
Oh, who knows what'll happen with that. Now, I'm going to practice with the fluid acrylic, which I know is quite different. And I have some Liquitex Basics over here. Oh, looks like I don't have CAD Red Light. Is there another one of these containers that has some tubes in it?
There is. It's just on the floor over here.
Thank you, dear. I forgot to put down my silicone mat that I normally have a red mat down here, or at least my beige one.
Yeah, it's the first party of the year.
I'm just not used to it.
Yeah.
I think I've only been doing digital work
for quite a while recently, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cherie says, I've listened to 40 books so far. Wow.
That's great.
I'll be able to go back to actual reading with the iPad.
Yeah.
Hope I remember how to decode. Rebecca says, I find my iPad dangerous to read on when I fall asleep at night. I've split my lip dropping it on my face.
Oh no. Well, I guess my phone is a little less lethal than that. Oh, it's very dry in here because it's winter and we have the heat on. So it's amazing how it's sticking to the plate. So you have to ease it off very carefully. There we go. Got the residue of the black off, so it's
oh, that's great.
It's also got a bit of a star field.
Yeah, you must have
little bits.
Yeah. Susan says, watching you roll off the excess paint, I finally have a good use for all those Uline catalogs that show up. Yeah, and they're just they're like telephone books, aren't they?
Yeah, I should totally do that. I
perfect
don't
for rolling off excess. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And actually, there'd be activated grounds too, right? Or collage stuff you could collage.
Well, right? Remember when we had phone books? That was good absorbent paper, and some people did that. They'd use them as a, they'd brush off or roll off paint, and then later on go in and draw or whatever on top. And it's like a sketchbook, cheap and cheerful sketchbook. There are always ways to do things cheaply if you think about it. Okay. So now I should practice doing an image transfer with something that I don't. I'll start off with this because that's not something I care about. So, anytime I'm going to do a process, certainly when I'm working in my own studio, without an audience, without teaching a class or doing this, I will warm up my whatever skill it is that I'm going to do so that I can get down to what I intend to do with my faculties warmed up, my sensitivity to the tools and materials warmed up, even getting my brayer kind of warmed up in a sense, primed, I guess.
I think by and large, a lot of people don't give themselves enough time to warm up, to just try a few things before launching in.
Yeah, and that's why I mention it, because there's this feeling, I'm finally in the studio. Okay, I can get out that thing I'm going to work on and start in. And so often, whether it's painting or drawing or collaging or printmaking, those first things are you're not where you want to be, unless you're very fresh, unless you've been doing it daily for a long time. But even so, just giving yourself a few minutes to warm up can be a good idea.
The longer you've been away from it, the more you need it.
I think I burnished it for too long. I forgot. I got talking.
Yep.
I forgot. Don't talk or don't burnish the magazine page for too long. But I did. So, there we go. That's why we warm up.
Yeah. There's the whole walking and chewing gum thing too, right?
Yes, there is that. It's a definite factor. I get myself into some trouble when I'm talking at the same time. That's for sure. Okay. This I need to burnish well. I've done it onto a ground. But actually you can see the face. It's super low contrast because I didn't put it on a high contrast ground, but it turned out quite well.
Yeah, you got a fair
except
bit of
for
detail and tonal.
Well, and that's a mascara. So in fact, that rectangle is supposed to be there. As it dries, it's actually getting better and better. So that's good.
That. Yeah.
All right, get a little more on there. Anyway, I think I'm on the third Henning Mankell Kurt Wallander novel now that I'm reading. Third or fourth. I took a couple of days off last week because I was exhausted and basically read for one whole day and read for much of another day.
Jennifer Vong has joined us.
Jen! Yay, Jen!
And has 3 fox emojis.
Oh.
Redhead foxes.
Yeah.
Hello there.
Jen is our illustrious administrator at the Redhead Gallery, which has been a little problematic during COVID, but thank God for her.
Administrator doesn't do her justice. She's
well, I think in arts organizations,
a million and typical one things.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so glad to see you here. I've been encouraging Jen to join us because I figure she needs some fun. She works so hard. And now I don't have any. I'll just print it on this. It's all just warming up, right?
It is warming up. She says howdy with applause.
Yay. Howdy, Jen. Are you going to play with something, or are you just going to hang out for a while? Because honestly, you can just doodle even.
Yep.
I'm doing jelly printing. Here, you can see her face peering at you. It's very mysterious looking.
It's great, actually. Jennifer says, "Aw, shucks, blush."
There we go. So I was telling you a bit about this Lost Museum project that I've been working on, and that's going to be an interactive website at the end of March, and will culminate in an actual physical event next year. Good God willing, and the creek don't rise, right? At the Small Arms Inspection Building in Mississauga, where the In Situ festivals were held, because this is actually the next In Situ festival. Is just happening differently, like everything in the world is happening differently because of COVID. So I'm a visiting artist for a few weeks in this course at Humber College to do the Altered Books project. And then I am later this week, I'm trying to learn lines. So I may be a little bit of a performer in the sense that I do public speaking and I do things like this, but acting is a whole other ball of wax. And I've been in my memory, oh my God. So I'm trying to learn a really small number of lines, and I haven't been practicing every day for the last few weeks like I should have been doing for a variety of reasons. But I'm trying. It'll be really intensive for the next few days. And because they're going to film me playing a character, which is really exciting. And I probably shouldn't go into the details of that because that should be unveiled gradually. But it's very exciting and very interesting, including the teaching collaboration with Noni, the professor at Humber, who is a wonderful, wonderful artist, by the way. She was at the Gladstone when Cal did the Come Up to My Room event. She had a whole room installation there. And
she was at the last...
In situ, she had a room where if you were at it, she had a big room where she did an intensely colored, abstract-looking design on the floor in desiccated coconut
that was
brilliantly dyed. Yeah. She dyed it, and when you went into the room, you could actually smell the coconut, and it had imagery related to women and fertility, and I know there was a uterus in there somewhere, and things like that. Yeah. So anyway, she's one of the most loving human beings I've ever met. So it was a joyful opportunity to be able to collaborate with her. Okay, I think I've sort of warmed up enough that I'm going to get going on my book.
And in fact, Jen says that she's designing a book layout and came for some creative juices.
Oh,
so
great.
It's actually kind of cool that
that works out well. Yeah, I've been pre-recording my classes for Humber, and I've made the titles for the videos and section dividers and the handouts. I'm riffing off an aesthetic related to traditional book design, traditional European book design typography. So that's been kind of fun. What's going on?
Oh, I'm just looking to see. I put Noni's Instagram handle, but I'm just wondering whether it took it or not.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah, she's an amazing artist. Definitely someone to watch.
She doesn't seem to have a website per se, so, or at least not easily found. So maybe she does. But...
Well, yeah, some artists. Maybe she's represented by gallery somewhere, and that's why she.
Yeah. Jen says the title is "How to Be a Chinese Ally."
Oh yeah, great,
No,
great,
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
A little how-to book for those.
Yeah.
Those people in need of a little sensitization.
Well, and I gotta say, talking to family ain't easy. Okay. So texture is the thing I'm going for now. Texture with some shape, though. So that's actually kind of nice. I like the mixture. I'm going to put it on crooked. I want to get those corners off. Well, we'll see.
It does look like there's at least a little bit of image.
I can see the image, but it's well, I mean, it does have. I'd rather lay it down this way. Okay. Watch Kim fumble. That'll be fun.
Fingerprints, those will look good.
Just think of the humor.
Yeah.
There we go.
You can't angst about it. You just got to do it.
Just got to go for it.
That's right.
Okay.
It's only ink. It's only paper. Or paint in this case.
Yeah.
So you're pre-inking that side of the plate now?
What a brat.
No, she isn't. She's just using it to apply relatively even pressure.
Hopefully everybody realizes that.
No, but you never know. Someone might have looked up and like, what?
Oh, wow. I did get quite a bit off of there when I wiped it. It's pretty faint, but it's there. So, I haven't found that sweet spot yet of, oh, that's too much burnishing. Oh, that's not enough burnishing. So I've got I mean, you can totally see that, but the dominant textures are coming from the plate, not from the image. But the image is there. And I am going to enhance what's there with masking. The one time you really have to usually clean your plate well between prints is when you're switching from black ink to
something lighter,
anything else.
Yeah, basically, because everything is, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's going to look way better when I get the red in. So I'm going to use Golden Open Medium to slow down the drying of the red that I'm going to lay down here. I'm improvising this sort of based on It's always fun to see how it deviates from what's there. Okay. I'm making a mask. That's what I'm cutting out.
Susan, you definitely can. She says, can you mix open medium with regular paint to slow it down that way?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I use it. So you can buy open acrylics, but that's a whole other set of colors, right? So I will use it. I can use it with my golden. I can use it with my Liquitex Basics.
Yeah, and if you want to slow it down a little bit, just put a tiny bit in. You want to slow it down more, put more in.
Yeah, exactly.
And it means you don't have to purchase a whole set of additional paints.
Yeah.
And it allows you the flexibility of like a little bit more open or a lot more, right? So
one thing that's worth noting is, you know, if you've used this, there are other things that will also slow down the drying. But if you use this for painting, it means that your colors on your palette will stay usable for much longer, or a little longer, depending on how little or how much you put in. Okay, is that the right? Yes, so that means it goes down like that. Okay, so printmaking, right? You gotta think about directions.
Is it a letter B? Looks like it. Could be.
Good. All right. So I probably put too much paint there. Let's take a bit of it off. Just put 4 drops. You go through these bottles really slowly, and then you have to mix it well. You can also mix it on the palette first, and then use palette knife, plastic palette knife or spatula to put it on your plate, pre-mixed with the open medium. Yeah, it was still way too much paint. I can use a little more paint on this masking than I would use for the image transfer, but you definitely you don't want a painterly feeling with your paint application on this, or you actually don't get a good print. You want a thin, even coat. And even is just in my dreams today, but that's fine. I'm rusty.
I'm getting just a little less rusty as you go.
Okay. Where's my book?
Right there.
I can't even see my own book. All right. Got a clean piece of paper. The clean piece of paper and burnish from the other side. Now, because I put the open medium in it, this shouldn't stick badly. No, I should have used Cad Red Medium. Well, maybe I'll add some in. Well, actually, that's upside down. This is the orientation.
Good thing you know.
So you see how abstracted that gets.
Yeah, quite.
And this is the lovely thing about even if I don't get a good transfer, because I'm layering up, it's still enriching, you know, some of the textural qualities I chose the image for are there. And regardless, it's still enriching the print. This part I have to peel off very carefully because, of course, I've burnished it down really, really well.
It's well stuck on there.
It really, really is.
And you could print with the residue that is on the plate now, right? Once you
And I will. I'll do a
Okay,
pickup
cool.
print probably because it'll probably be too dry to just print from, even with the open medium because it's so thin.
Right.
I really have to peel it this slowly if I don't want to tear the paper.
Right.
And you don't want to end up with paper residue stuck to the plate because that's a tougher cleanup job. There we go. So there's my lovely mask. And it's left me with this lovely residue. And that's always fun, right? So I'm going to do a pickup print with some lovely color.
So you're going to add another color rather than just putting the paper down on this?
Yeah, it's dry.
Oh, it's dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for that
The very wet edge. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a even
Mostly dry. Oh, okay.
to the touch.
But by putting the wet paint over top, it will lift it along with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
This is that's why it's called a pickup print.
Yeah. Donna asks, what paper are you using for your book straight?
The book. Oh, it was such a long time ago that I did this. I think it's mixed media paper.
Like maybe the Strathmore Vision.
Strathmore Vision mixed media paper, possibly, or Canson XL mixed media paper. That's my best guess because it's not watercolor paper. It's not that thick.
Right.
Yeah. And I joined together more than one piece to make it as long as that. What?
Rebecca says,
Yes.
it was from a big mixed media pad, I think.
Bless you, Rebecca. Oh my God. I need you in my life. Yeah. You were there.
You're Kim's off-site brain.
Oh. Yeah. I used to have such a good brain. Cal remembers when I did.
She remembered everything, knew so much. You still know so much, but it was.
Yeah, but I could recall it.
But it was like encyclopedic, and the access was instantaneous.
My processors were really top notch in the old days. All right. Well,
that's cool. Yeah.
Talk about I love me some good shapes.
Yeah.
So that's why, that's why I had to, when Quest Art asked me for a workshop, shape and texture, that's what had to happen. So I love that shape.
So a couple of things.
Yeah.
Sharon, bless her heart, says, Maybe today's brain is better? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Oh,
It is the one that we have.
it's
So
it
it is better.
It's
for sure.
handiest.
Yes, exactly. And your sort of leading point is actually quite possibly true, that it has, well, some things have been lost, others have definitely been gained.
Yeah, so. Yeah. Sharon's always throwing that wisdom stuff at me.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you need it.
Yeah. And here's the thing, maybe I'm not as good at wisdom. And if that's the case, I'm really screwed, right?
And Donna asked of the book again, how did you join them?
Yeah, so I made a flap and glued the flap to the next section.
Right, and because it was a large sheet of paper, you only have two that you glued together? Probably. Yeah.
I don't remember exactly. But, you join as many sections as you need to.
Sharon says, maybe it's more compassionate, self-compassionate.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah. I've been working on meditations that are about self-compassion. They're tough meditations, let me tell you. They are tough. Especially these days, I think. I've definitely felt more kindly to myself. So I've used the wrong red. But that's all part of the adventure of coming back to a project. So you can see this is a cad red light hue, of course, and this is a cad red medium hue. But that's fine. That's just another variation that's going to be in this. And I think that this, just like this has some elements collaged and painted into it, I can imagine doing some white shards, maybe some black ones and white ones, really acute angled triangles on this panel. But I'm only going to concern myself with these two layers right now. Let's see what's going on over here.
So now the question that you have the color shift, do you continue with that?
Or do you go back? I'm famous for my blips and deviations. Am I not, Cal?
You are.
At least when I say famous, I mean to a very limited number of people.
In our house, anyway.
It was one of the things that used to infuriate Cal when we collaborated as designers, because he was very like, you set up the system and you follow the system. And I was always like, oh, but the system's so much more fun if you deviate from it, and then you're really aware of the system. So I'm deviating from the system as usual. Anyway, what is my next?
Meanwhile, Annie says of the pickup print, she says, really like that outline hard edge on the pickup print.
Yeah, it's lovely how, when I made the first print with the mask in place, of course, the paint closest to the edge of the mask, less of that gets picked up by that first print. And that's why you get these wonderful edges. And those negatives in there, aren't they lovely? So they have even more paint in them because they're enclosed shapes that have edges keeping the paint trapped. So
Annie says, many times your art book looks finished. How will you know when it's done?
Yes. How will I? Well, first I want to get all of the panels filled. That's job one.
Need to be filled?
All of them do.
Yes,
In this book, all of them do. Yeah. In some books, who knows, right?
Not necessarily, yeah.
And then I guess that's the art of it, right? So you're looking at the individual panel, and you're also looking holistically at how it looks within the context of the other panels to determine whether it's done. Okay. All right, I was going to do some texture. No, I'll just do this shape.
Annie, sorry, I got that already. Sharon asks, any tip for gel plates working with canvas? I find the image transfer doesn't take that well.
Yeah, I wouldn't do image transfers on canvas. I would transfer onto thin paper and then collage the thin paper onto the canvas.
Right, because the texture of the surface texture.
You
right?
really need smooth. The best results for gel plate prints to get the cleanest print is a very smooth paper. But obviously, if you're not doing something with as much detail as an image transfer, then you can do what you like. You can do big bold shapes and have them come out rough on the canvas. So that's what I recommend. Collage image transfers, but you can direct print what works for you. Make sure the canvas is well supported when you're transferring to. Put some corrugated cardboard or something in behind the canvas underneath the stretchers, or if it doesn't have extra cross bracing, you could just put a wood panel that's the same thickness underneath the canvas where you're going to do the gel printing, because it needs a well supported surface. Ideally,
rather than the canvas trampoline.
Right? It is flexible. So if you had a surface that was arced, that would be fine. But a hammock is awkward because you're trying to burnish, so it's not well supported, so it's hard to get a good result. All right, time for this lady. I just have to figure out how I want to crop her. Right, well, I don't want Calvin Klein in, so that part's easy. So what I should do is cut off the Calvin Klein part, and that will tell me how to line it up on the plate. There we go. And that's nice because I won't have to cut off her head then. There's always something a little upsetting about cutting off someone's head. Can't help ourselves. Yeah, I think I'll do that one over here next to the bag. And not red. Gotta watch myself like a hawk, honestly. For anyone who's just joined, it looks like maybe a couple of people have just joined. Hi, welcome to the first virtual studio party of 2021. As usual, you get to watch me make all the mistakes. You get confused and lose track of my materials. And that's how you know it's me.
We're right there with you.
That's how you know it's me. Sometimes the most beautiful things grow out of very messy processes and situations. So it's a lesson for living.
I'm sure Sharon agrees.
Yeah, that almost smacked of wisdom. Oh.
Yeah, is this one going to be a good one?
It's got some little puckers and hickeys in it, but other than that, it's a really good print. I'm actually going to...
Sharon says, #wisdom.
don't remember which way is right way up. Okay, that way is right way up. So I want to make sure this is upside down. There we go. It's one thing you definitely need to be cognizant of is orientation. Now I'm also going to flip it over and do some burnishing from this side. With my less than clean fingers, apparently. Let's not do that. You know how they say you can see evidence of the hand of the artist in an artwork?
You often can in Kim's.
All right, well, that's a shape. How's it go? It goes like this.
That's fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So get this cleaned off. So I can do the red layer. This time I'll use the correct red. I could mix two reds and have a transitional red. Oh no, it's on the other side though. Maybe I should use the other red then. So that they're both the wrong red. And then they
I don't know, but then it wouldn't be as exceptional.
I think mirroring the exception could be okay.
I don't know. It's Max's system, Kim.
It does.
I'm sure you can.
I should think about my mask before I go laying some paint on. Sequencing.
Give you a heads up that about just past 3:15.
Is it really? I can't believe how quickly the time has gone by. It's like that though, isn't it? I'm just guesstimating the negatives and
Accentuating the positives.
I think I've made this too tall. I have. Well, that's not going to work. All right, I need to have a shorter piece of paper then. Is that the right height? That's the right height. Okay. What's the right width? I'll just cut it more or less to the right size, and then I will do that riff once more. And you see, I need to fit that into this. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Does anyone else here like Henning Mankell mysteries, whether it's the television show or the books? Cal and I were just having a chat yesterday, I think it was, about the fact that he's such a flawed hero that it makes it easy to relate to him and yet not relate to him too, because his problems seem, wow, I don't know if I'm doing a very good job of fitting it into this, but we'll see. Okay.
That's fun.
That's a neat shape.
That is a neat shape,
See
actually.
the interesting shapes that come up as a result of this. All right. It deviates from the transfer in interesting ways. Okay, let's get some paint on here then. I think I like a flawed hero.
Can relate to them, right?
Yeah.
Just show us anyone who's not flawed.
I mean, I like, you know, I still like the Lord of the Rings and things like that. Some mythological heroes that, well, a number of them are flawed too.
Yeah.
Come to think of it.
Yeah.
But the Swedish mystery ones they're dark. There's a lot of darkness in Swedish mysteries. And I guess the older I get, the more interested I am in that. Whoops. This is why I usually have a silicone mat. Okay. My brayer page is getting quite interesting. I often scan them in for incorporating into. Problem is I need it now.
Wait, she has to add one more touch to it. There we go.
There we go. All right.
I know the brayer pages. There, you know, as a designer, as someone who has cultured and developed intentionality, there is something infuriating but also wonderfully reassuring about the fact that when we
Oh shoot.
oh no
I put it on the wrong orientation.
oh no
Remember I said orientation was key? Well, because it's printmaking, kids. Someone should have reminded me.
Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. That's just me. Okay. I need a piece of paper. So I'll just print this and start again.
Yep.
Okay.
Stop getting off on my flights of fancy about.
No,
Anyway.
it's good that you're on a flight of fancy. You can't help it that my brain is misfiring. All right.
Actually, that print you took to get the
Yeah.
the paint off is quite fascinating because it has both fuzzy edges and crisp edges coming from the same shape, which is quite interesting, don't you think?
I'll take your word for it. Yeah. Yeah, actually. It does. I can see that making a composition with
Mhm.
that as a major element. Okay, so I need more paint
And
and
do you
more
need-
open medium.
do
And
you
this
need-
time I'll leave the red up
right,
because that
right.
will reverse the.
Yeah.
I also need to blot. There's too much water on the plate. So.
Red is right side up. Philippa says, lovely to see you again and looking so much better than before the holidays. I'm now
Oh,
going for a
thank you.
walk before the sun goes down.
Yes, I don't
an
blame you.
excellent idea, Philippa. It does look like it's still up there in the sky. Hopefully you've got a little more actual sun. We've got it overcast here, but
Yeah.
well, sort of gently overcast.
Yeah.
Enjoy your walk. And
Yes,
thanks for,
please do. And thanks for coming,
thanks
Philippa.
for coming, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'll be able to tell you if I forgot my lines or not.
You won't. Did you tell them what hour you need to be at the theater?
Yeah. So my call for filming, I have to be there at 7 a.m. downtown. So I have to, Cal has to drop me off for my ride because he's teaching that morning, so he can't
I can't
take
drive
me.
you down. Sorry.
I have to be at their place for 6:30 in the morning. Now, for some of you, some of you are probably larks, and that sounds fine. I went to bed at 4:30 this morning. So, that's 2 hours earlier than
Yeah,
when
Sharon
I
was
need to
saying,
be
good
there.
thing you're a morning person.
Yeah.
Yep.
Only when I stay up late enough. And that would be ill-advised for filming. I mean, I'm playing a character, but I still don't want to look the worst I've ever looked in my life,
Well, just get up late that morning and just stay up all the way through and then come home when you're done.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I don't know. All right. Got the orientation right this time. That's exciting. We're on the right track. Thank you, dear. Okay.
Donna says, thanks so much, Kim. Good to see you looking so well.
Good to see you, Donna.
Yeah,
thanks for joining us.
It's been fun having you, Donna.
I'm gonna finish this page before I sign up. Oh, it's not even 3:30 yet.
No, we just got a few people probably looking at the
Itching
sun
to
and
get
thinking,
out.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame them at all.
But hopefully a few of you will be able to stay and such as it is, see it at
the next stage of progression.
when it's ready for its next layers. Okay. Let's see how this is looking.
Mira says, it was a great class, Kim, and congratulations on your new adventure.
There we go.
Mira says, I've been working at your pace and I'm exhausted.
Oh,
See you next time.
there we go.
All right.
So now you can see
sort of, slightly oranger ends, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're good additions.
Yeah.
They've
absolutely.
got good shapes, and I will embellish them in different ways. I didn't point out the one with the pants. One of the white negatives was developed with paint pens. You see how it's bright. So I boosted the contrast that way.
Ah, yes.
So, things like that can happen in addition to the other kinds of embellishments. So we'll just see what happens. I better leave it open flat for now.
Rebecca assures you she's staying. Kirk is downstairs filming classes, so she's stuck upstairs.
Oh, right. Well, it's nice for you guys that he can teach from home. Oh, I have to take a print of this. Take the mask off.
Hopefully it'll... Oh, yeah, it'll come up good.
It had some paint on it already, so... Oh, no, it didn't. I had that up. It's the same color, so it's hard for me to tell.
Donna says she's got to make a delivery to her bro.
Okay.
And Mark
Good
says...
for you.
Is this going to be on Saturday now or stay on Mondays?
It's going to stay on Mondays, Mark. Cal's virtual collage jam will be next Monday, followed by the following Monday. It'll be back to virtual studio party, and we'll just alternate for the coming term, whatever, and revisit it when we approach another season. Okay, I'm going to do another one.
Another pickup print.
Yeah, another pickup print to get that nice shape.
Mm-hmm. You want a different color or?
No, I want the same color.
Right. Marg says, yeah. We'll take that as a vote of liking Mondays.
Yeah, that means you like Mondays, does it?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, because you probably have more family things on weekends and so on.
And that's sort of what led us to move it back to Mondays, or move it to Mondays. The pros and cons each way. Some people.
Yeah, we'll change it periodically just to make sure that everybody gets a chance to attend live, hopefully, who wants to. But we won't change it too frequently.
Oh, and Rebecca says, Kirk did ask me to say hi to both of you.
Oh, that's
very
nice.
Sweet. Yeah, say
Please.
hi to Kirk from us.
Yes, please. That's probably too much paint. I should take some off. Getting a little tartan design here.
Say, aren't you plaid?
Okay.
It says will be.
Let's see. Yes, I have to get back to quilting my heart.
Peggy would like you to know she thinks Mondays are perfect.
Oh, good. Good. No, we're delighted to hear it. If anybody wants to weigh in, you tell us.
It helps us know whether we're on track or whether we need to reevaluate or whatever.
Or what we'll consider for the next time we do change. So, when we changed to Saturdays, some people couldn't come because of family. Some people couldn't come because they celebrate the Jewish Sabbath. So, there are all kinds of reasons. It's a little sticky and I'm getting a crinkle in my paper. And 2 crinkles. But it's fun rotating the shapes around to see what happens like that.
That's pretty great.
I like that direction.
It really has a printmaking feeling to it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does. So, where's the other one? There was another pickup print. Okay, so now what I've got. Oh, actually, they're kind of fun together. Let me just get these. I've got these 2. And this one, which has subtleties you can't see from a distance. So that's why I'm bringing it in close. Yeah, there's something there. It's interesting too, the blending by layering of the 2 colors, the light blue violet with the red orange, how modified the red orange becomes, whereas this is the pure version of the color. So what might be interesting for me to do on this one next is to partially apply some light blue violet on it, but partially leave the red orange the way it is.
Rebecca says very compelling shapes and color.
Yeah. So that's good. It's one of the things I love about jelly printing is the the pickup prints and the oops, I have to print this because I made a mistake print. It can all be good. Like it's all in fact, some of those surprising things turn out to be better than the intentional things. But remember, the intention's what gets you there too. So it's just part of the process, those things coming up. I'm just going to have a drink so that I don't start coughing. Oh, that's good. Very good.
Kim likes her gin.
Actually, I really don't like gin at all. So
Quick question for you, Sherry.
Yes.
Since we're on the topic,
Yeah.
She says, "Can you draw into the inked plate?"
You get a nice rubbery tool, and if you've put open medium or retarder in it, you can do graffito drawing.
Mm-hmm.
You can also use you can do some painterly applications thinly with a brush, but the graffito drawing is a knockout. Definitely, it's really great, and that's something we'll definitely cover in the Quest Art workshop a little bit.
Right.
Because it's a great way to get to texture as well, through mark making. And what?
Well, in response to my joke about the gin, Peggy says it's happy hour somewhere. Yeah, pretty close.
Right. Cheers.
pretty close to Ontario too.
Yeah.
Now,
actually, it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, close. Yeah. We're closing in, but yeah. So, don't. My rusty fumblings here shouldn't put you off from the idea of gel plate printing. I certainly hope it won't. But this is the thing, right? It's not. You don't have to be super worried about what you're doing. There are skills, obviously, and you can develop really masterful skills in gel plate monoprinting, is like anything else. But you can also really lighten up and have some fun with it. And that's ultimately why I thought that might be a good thing for me today, because some of you know I've been struggling with exhaustion and so on.
It's kind of like it's very responsive, very quick, and it's kind of like an incubator, and one idea sort of leads to the next.
It becomes very self-generating, and that's a lot of fun, because it means that you get it started, but you go along for the ride as well. And I think that that's a lot of fun. So and playing with color and shape and layers and textures. Honestly, I don't know what there isn't to love about that. Also, the plate itself is just, in a tactile sense, delicious. I love this thing. And you can condition it with baby oil. If you're sensitive to fragrance, which baby oil has, just get light mineral oil.
Right.
Which has no fragrance. So, because mineral oil is actually part of the plate. So it will, you see how I've got sort of stains and stuff. If I condition it with baby oil after I've cleaned it, it will go really clear again.
Cherie says, "Thanks for the intro. I've always wondered." And Rebecca says, "Preaching to the choir."
Awesome. Wow. I guess we've reached the end, eh?
I guess
so. Yeah, we're over time and everything. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Us. So nice to see your faces. And I made an effort to make my face presentable today. So I'm glad a couple of people mentioned that I looked like I was okay. So job done.
I think they said something stronger than that.
Yeah, that's fine. Very nice of them anyway.
Sharon says, "This was great. Thanks." Val says, good. "Interesting as always."
Oh, thanks.
And Sharon says, "Nice refresher. And I like Monday. Weekend want to spend time with my bubble," which makes sense.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, because there are lots of people who are still out working or whatever, and weekend is a good, more precious time. Yeah. So, when we moved it to Saturday, one of the reasons was there were some working people, including there's one artist I know who works in hospital. She's a physiotherapist, but she's in the hospital armored to the nth degree against COVID. And and I just thought, boy, if she and anyone else like her want to come to this, I wanted to make it possible. So, and some of the young people I know as well who are working
like my nieces and so on. So anyway, it's fine. I know some people who are working have the flexibility because they're working from home now to maybe take a little time out for this and then go back to work. So it just depends on their situation. It was very nice to see Jen here. And she may have gone already, but if you haven't gone yet, Jen, nice to see you.
Rebecca says, thanks for this. So great to see you. Continue to feel better.
Thank you.
And Cherie says, thanks for the inspiration.
Take care, everybody.
And he says, thanks, guys. Have a great week. And
Yeah,
Peggy says, thanks
you
for
too.
the introduction to jelly printing.
Oh, my pleasure. So, yeah, please do check out the Quest Art Workshop. I'd love to see you there. And meanwhile, have a great week. And Cal and I will see you hopefully at the virtual collage jam. Same time, same day, but on Cal Honey's channel. So take care, everybody.
Thanks, Jen. Jen says, thanks for the colorful vibes.
Oh, awesome.
With waves. So take care, guys. We'll see you later.
That's great.